Now we're talking about mathematics today. Do I still have um, Jarriet? Josimo?
Yes, sir.
Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, sorry for the delay. So we are going to
Okay.
commence right now. Okay. Now, first of all, like I said in the previous class, that most of what we are going to be learning, if it is be it mathematics, be it English or whatever, they all carry equal mark. And that means that there is no easy question and there is no difficult question. You just have to be fast with each question, the same pace. I know that most of our jam these days are CBT, right? So it has to be computer based. So you have to be super fast. And if you have any question, any issue with a question, you don't have to wait. You just have to skip it and come back to it later. Do you understand what I'm saying, Jared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so good. So we'll take some elementary topics in mathematics today in order to be able to familiarize ourselves with the foundations. Then as we go in subsequent classes, we'll climb higher. First of all, we'll look at, in today's class, we'll look at topics like okay, excuse me. Okay, so we'll look at generally as a subtopic, numbers and numerations, fractions, decimals, number bases, significant figure, percentage error and proportion, indices, logarithms, sorts, set theory, and commercial arithmetic. But I will remove set theory from this list. Okay, we might not be able to get to set today, but we'll take topics on commercial arithmetics. Then we'll begin from set next class. So that means I'm taking a subtopic in mathematics called numbers and numerations. Okay, now let's begin from fractions. Before I go on, I would like to say that it's very, very important. As much as you are learning, you must also practice. And I believe you are in the classroom, Jared. Are you in the
Yes,
classroom?
sir.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Now, in the classroom, I'm going to post assignments after this class so that you can practice. These questions that we are going to work on are taken from year 2020 to 2015. There are 6 years questions. So Jamb's last 6 years. So we are going to focus on this questions on each of these topics that was asked. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's take a look at it. Fractions and decimals first. So let's see. This question came up one of those years. Simplify 3 whole number 1 over 3 minus 1 whole number 1 over 4 times 2 over 3 plus 1 whole number 2 over 5. Now this looks like a year 5 question, but actually you need to be very conversant with board mass. If you make mistake on board mass, you are going to flop this question. You know, board mass rule says that what bracket first, right?
Oh, yes.
Then off, then division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So that's how you
Subtraction.
flow. So you must begin now. As I'm looking at this question, don't be tempted to begin from the front. If you do, you have failed it. You must begin from the middle, multiplication first, because among all of them, the greatest sign on this screen right now is multiplication, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you must flow from multiplication first, and that was what I did here. So I did 3 whole number 1 over 3 minus 1 whole number 1 over 4 times 2 over 3 plus 1 whole number 2 over 5. Very straightforward. So I put the multiplication in brackets. Then I first of all caged the multiplication. I caged it. Then I converted it from mixed fraction to improper fraction. So we have 3 whole number 1 over 3 became 10 over 3. How? 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1. That's how we change from mixed fraction to improper. And that's the first step. 3 times 3, 9 plus 1, that is 10. So that makes 10 over 3 minus the next one is 1 whole number 1 over 4. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1, 5 over 4 times 2 over 3 plus 1 whole number 2 over 5. That gave me 5 times 1, 5 plus 2, 7 over 5. No, now I'm not solving the minus. I'm not solving the plus. I'm focusing on the multiplication. Now I'll cut 5 over 4 times 2 over 3. 2 can cut 4. 2 here 1. 2 in 4 is 2. You know, only up can cut down. Anything up and can cut down, but up can't cut up. That's, I'm saying, a numerator can't cut a numerator, and the same thing applies below. But up can cut down. So 2 here 1, 2 in 4 is 2. So I'll be getting 5 on top, and 2 times 3 below that, that's 6. And that gave me 10 over 3 minus 5 over 6 plus 7 over 5. I don't know if you understand what I've just said now.
I understand.
Okay, good. Then now you are left with what? Subtraction and addition. Now, subtraction and addition are not things that we can cut. You must find the LCM. So for 3, 6, 5, the LCM of 3, 6, 5 is 30.
Okay.
Is 30. Okay. Okay. So that give me 30. And for that 30, you will need to do something. And that means for the 30, you will need to do 3 in 30. That's 10 times the 10 on top. That will give me 100. Minus 6 divided 30, that's 5 times 5 on top. That's 25. Plus 5 divided 30 is 6 times 7, that's 42. 100 minus 25 minus 42 give me 117 over 30. If you break it down by 3, you're getting 39 over 10, which is 3 over 9 over 10. And that is what to be done. Now, but the lesson that they are learning here is board mass. You know, which sign is higher? The higher sign must be done first. And that is what they are really testing you on here. This is just a test of board mass, if you understand board mass. And that is just it. Now, and remember that I started from the multiplication, got my answer, then I did the LCM, and I finished up with this. And that is all for that question. Do you have any
I want to
questions?
ask a question.
Okay.
The board math, you've done the multiplication part. Can you do the addition first before doing the subtraction? Or you must do everything together?
Okay, that's a very good question. Can I do the plus before the minus, right?
Yes.
Addition before subtraction. Now, actually, what Bollman is trying to say is this, and most people don't know. Bollman is just trying to say that although Bollman's rank it as plus before minus, but actually addition and subtraction are on the same level. That means they can be done, anyone can be done first. You can do plus first, or you can do minus first. And the same thing applies to division and multiplication. You can actually divide first or multiply first. It doesn't matter. They are actually on the same level. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bracket first, off second, then division and multiplication are the same. They can be done at the same time. And multiplication, and minus and plus, that's subtraction and the addition can be done at the same time. So those two are actually on the same level. That's why. Do you understand? So look at what I did here. I did subtraction and plus. That's minus and plus together. Can you see that?
Yes.
And I was still correct. So you can actually do multiplication and division together, or you can do plus and minus together. They are actually on the same level. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is that for that question. Let's go to another question. Let's see whether we can get another question. So the answer is 3 over 9 over 10. And that's what I got here. Okay. So the next question, so that settles fraction. We will see more questions in fraction in your classroom. Okay. I will drop more questions on fraction that you can check out in your classroom. Okay. And if you have any question, you can still ask me. But you remember that we can only cut division and multiplication. That means we can only cut them or divide them. But for plus and minus, that's subtraction and addition, you can only use their LCM. Don't cut plus and minus. You can only use the LCM for plus and minus, and you can only divide multiplication and division. Do you understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the next question is a question in decimal. That's it is asking you simplify this. Now, I would advise that if you have this kind of question in your Jamb, don't do the workings, because if you come in the OBJ form, although I did the workings here, but don't do this. Okay, don't do this. Just punch it because of time. Why? Because of time. You will not need to submit your workings. Just use your calculator. Do the up. This times this 0.0023 times 75. Get your answer. Then do the one below 0.00345 times 1.25. Don't break it down the way I did my own. Just multiply up and down, then divide them and find the square root of the answer. That will make it faster for you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so because this is not WIAC, this is Jamb, and you are not meant to submit workings, so you have to be very fast. Okay, so but here I was trying to explain it step by step. So we have 0.0023 times 75 divided by 0.00345 times 1.25. Okay, what I did was that I changed it, okay, to standard form. 0.0023 gave me, I moved 4 steps this way. 1, 2, 3 to the back of 3, 4. 23 times 10 to the power minus 4. Then 75 remains 75. Over the one below, I move to the back of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3, 4, 5 times 10 to the power minus 5 times the 1.25 give me, move 2 steps. 1, 2. And that's 125 times 10 to the power minus 2. Okay, then now multiply the numbers with themselves. 23 times 75, that gave me 175, 1725 times 10 to the power minus 4 on top. Below, multiply the numbers. 345 times 125. Please don't multiply it with the 10. Just multiply number to number, and that gave me 43,125. Then 10 to the power minus 5 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 2. According to the law of what? Indices, it will give me 10 to the power minus 7. No, 10 to the power minus 5 fusing with 10 to the power minus 2 gave me 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, and then I have to divide 1725 divided by 43125. That gave me 0.04. Then 10 to the power minus 4 divided by 10 to the power minus 7. According to the law of indices, if you are dividing indices, you will need to do a subtraction. That means it will become minus 10 raised to the power minus 4 minus 7. And minus will give you plus 7. That's why I have, because it is a division here, it will become positive 7. 10 minus 4 times the power plus 7. And that will give me 10 to the power 3, because minus 4 plus 7 is 3. So I have 0.04 times 10 to the power 3. And that will give me 40. And then now I have to find the square root of 40. Now I stopped here because I discovered that this question has an error. I have to check through the past question again from the one I was given. The question is meant to be not 75. It's meant to be 750. Although I couldn't put that correction into this one. But this is the correction. The real question, if you check in your past question, is not, although they did 75 in the question section, but in the answer section, they did 750. Okay, so that means there's a typographic error in most of the past questions. And that has to do with the one that I used also. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is meant to be 750, not 75. If you use 750, you'll be getting 400 here. So I discovered this late. So it is meant to be root 400. And the square root of 400 is what? Is 20.
20.
Because 20 times 20 is 400. So that will bring us to the answer as 20. You see, you can't really get, if it were 40, you will not get any answer that suits it in the option, because the question itself is wrong. So it is meant to be 750, okay? But this is what I said. Concerning any decimal question like this, please don't solve. Just punch and get your answer, and then divide, and you will get your answer straight up because of time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So you must also learn how to be very fast. Now, the third question is a question in standard form. Now look at this one. We have 0.00 0.0001432 divided by 19400. That's 1,904,000. Now change it to this form, k times 10 raised to power n. This is a very easy question, and it is just telling you to change the question to standard form and tell us what the k will be and what the n will be in standard form. Okay, so let's take a look at it now. To convert that, we'll be doing this. Although I did the working this way, Dosumu, or what's the name again? Let me check the name again.
Yeah.
Dosumu, yes, I'm correct. Dosumu, don't, if it is decimal, you don't have time to waste with decimals. I've said before, I'm saying it again. You just need to punch it, okay? And get your answer, then change your answer to standard form, okay? So when I did, I will show you how I did it. This is my own explanation, but against Jamb won't give you enough time. From experience, I'm saying Jamb won't give you enough time. So you should be smart enough to be fast. So just press your calculator and divide this guy and get your answer, then change to standard form. Now let me show you how I did it. 0.001432. You will just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1432 times 10 to the power minus 7. Then the one below, I'll move 1, 2, 3, 4 to the back of 4, and that gave me 194 times 10 to the power 4. Okay, now I'm going to divide the number separately from the tens. So 1432 divided by 194, that gave me 7.38. Then 10 to the power minus 7 divided by 10 to the power 4. Division will lead to subtraction when you are dividing. It will become 10 to the power minus 7 minus 4, and that will give me 7.38 times 10 to the power minus 11. And that is already in standard form, because in standard form, the point must be behind the first number. The point must be behind the first number. That becomes 7.38 times 10 to the power minus 11. So what is your k? Now look at the format you were doing in that question. You were giving k times 10 to the power n, right? Now that k means the first number before 10. And in your answer, the number before 10 is 7.38. So that's 7.38 represents k. So my k is 7.38. Then the 10 to the power n, the n is represented by minus 11. So your n is minus 11. It is just a format mass. You are working the mass on format. A times 10 to the power n. The format of your answer in standard form is 7.38 times 10 to the power minus 11. So my k is 7.38 and my n is minus 11.
Minus 11.
Is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have to clear out this little mass because we are climbing higher, but they will all carry the same score. So you must know the little mass and the high mass. And you must not have problem with the little mass as much as you face the high mass. So every mass are just equal. They are just equal when it comes to Jamb because they all carry equal mark. So let's take it higher to another section. I believe all I've explained so far are clear to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, most of them are what you can even do with a simple calculator. You don't have to show this because it's not theory. Now, this section 2, significant figure, percentage error, and proportion. Okay, although they didn't display any question on proportion in the 6 years, but we'll see questions on percentage error and significant figure. Now, this is percentage error, very simple. Any percentage error has a formula, error over original value times 100. That's the ultimate formula for any question on percentage, and you must take note of it. Error over original value times 100. That is the almighty formula for percentage error questions. Okay, now the length of a notebook, 15 centimeter, was measured as 16.8 centimeter. Calculate the percentage error to 2 significant figure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the error? The formula is error over O value, that means original value, times 100. Now, the real length is 15 centimeter. the mistake length or the wrong length is 16.8 centimeter. Now, how do you find error? Subtract. That will become 16.8 minus 15. And that is what I did. 16.8 minus 15. That's my error. Then over the original value, which is 15 times 100. This is for percentage error. And this is the way it always comes. Now that will get 8 minus 15 will give me 1.8 divided by 15 times 100. And if you multiply 1.8 times 100, you will get 180. Divided by 15 is 12%. And that is a simple error. Is that clear? That's the percentage error. Now, don't forget, whenever you are given a question on percentage error, you must subtract to get the
Error.
the error. Yes. So and divide it by the what original value. So this formula is all you have to keep in mind. Okay. I believe that one is quite straightforward, right?
Yes.
12% is the answer. Next question. Oh, okay. I didn't take too much questions on this session. Wow. I didn't even notice. Sorry. Okay, but subsequently we can still try out more questions on that. Okay. I thought I found a question in significant figure. Do you understand significant figure?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, let me just give you a quick one. Let me give you a quick test. Suppose that I give you 2.54. Change to two significant figure. What will you give me as your answer? $2.54. What will it be in two significant figure? Should I say the answer?
Yes.
Okay, the answer is 2.5. Why is it 2.5? Because 4 is rounded down. Any number from 5 upward are rounded up. Okay, so two significant figure is you have 2. What did I ask you? 2.54, right?
54. Yeah.
Good. 2.54. The two significant figure stops at 5 because the first number was 2, second number was 5. Okay, so it stops at 5. Now that 4 at the back of 5 is supposed to what affect the 5, but since the 4 is small, that means it is not up to 5, it will be 0. So it will become 2.5 plus 0, and that's 2.5. But if the number behind the 5 was like 7 or 5, up to 5, it will become, the answer will now become 2.6. Do you understand? So if
Yes.
I
Yes.
say 2.56, the 6 will what? Will add 1 to the 5, and then the two significant figure will become 2.6.
2.6.
Beautiful. That's the way it works for significant. Just count. Now suppose that I gave you 0.0352. 0.0352. 0.0352. Okay. Now, I said, give me in two significant. Now, 0 and all the zeros that I called at the beginning, they are not significant. So your work will begin from 3, 5, 2, and your number will end at 5 because it is two significant figures. So it will become 0.035. Beautiful. But if the last number behind the 5 was 8, it will not be 5 that you are meant to say. You'll be saying 6 because the 8 will run up. I mean, you add 1 to the 5, it will become 0.036. Is that clear?
Yes. Yes. What of decimal?
Okay. Decimal place. Okay, you have been wondering, okay, how decimal place to work. Okay, decimal place and significant figure are done the same way, but with only one small difference. The small difference is just a small difference, and you must know that small difference. Decimal place and significant figure use the same method, but decimal place, the difference is where you start counting from. In significant figure, you count from the beginning, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, depending on what they ask you for. But from decimal place, you start counting from the decimal point. Okay, like if I give you, let me give you an example. If I give you 2.347, put it in 2 decimal place. 2.347. I am not counting from 2. No, not from the beginning. I'll count from the point. Now, 2.347. So I will start counting from 3, 4. That's 2 decimal place. 3, 4. That's 2 decimal place. So because the number behind the 4 is 7, it will add up to the 4, making it 5. So the answer will now be 2.35.
5.
2 decimal place means from that 3 and the 5. 2 decimal place doesn't count from the beginning like this one, significant figure. Decimal place counts from the point, and that is the little difference between them. Although they are always solved the same way, but the little trick is that for decimal places counts from the point, and for significant figure counts from the beginning of the number. It is that simple, but also if you're not careful enough, you might mess it up. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's, you can put some of these things down so that you won't forget. Now, that we've spoken about percentage error, and we've seen the formula for any question. This formula can destroy any question error. Now, let's see more example on number base now. Okay, Dosumu, have you ever done anything on number base before?
Yes.
Okay. Now look at this one. This one is saying I found it in those years. Convert 24 base 5 and 24 base 5. That's not 24. It's just 24 because it's not in base 10. 24 base 5 to base 8. Now these people that said this question, Jamb knows they all know in their mind that you can't go from base 5 to base 8. They know that it is not possible, but they are actually testing you whether you know how to do it. Now, it is not possible in math to go from 5 to base 8. Why? Because you need to convert to the mother base. The mother of all bases is base 10.
Hello.
I can hear you. What is noise from your end? Okay, Mohammed. Okay, Mohammed. Okay, good. Please, if you come in, if you have a question, you can unmute. Okay, but if you don't, please mute. Dosumu, you can mute too, so that there will be no, although noise is not coming from your hand, but keep yourself muted. If you have a question at any time, unmute and let me know. Okay, let's take it that way so that there will be no noise. Now convert 24 base 5 to base 8. Okay, now the first step here is to change to base 10 first. That's the first step. Nobody need to tell you. You can't go from, like, okay, I was saying that the mother of all base is base 10. Everything must go from base 10 to any other base. So base 10 is like base. So you can't go from any base to just any base. You must pass through base 10. So that's why the first thing that I did was that I will now need to first change to base 10. Now changing 2, 4. Okay, going to the past question, I thought that this question is also wrong. It is not 2, 4 base 5. The real question in your past question is 241 base 5. 241. I discovered that the question wasn't correct. Why? So correct that, please. 241 base 5. Change it to base 8. Okay, now first step, change to base 10. How do you change to base 10? Multiply each of the value by 5. That means I'll be doing 2 times 5, wow, plus 4 times 5, plus 1 times 5. I hope you are following. Then 2 times 5 plus 4 times 5 plus 1 times 5. Now on top of the 5, you will now have to put powers from 0 to 1 and then to 2. Okay, this is how to change to base 10 any day, anytime. Multiply the numbers by the base, plus the next number by the base, plus the next number by the base. Then on top of the numbers, put 0, 1, 2 on top of the base. Okay, 0, 1, 2. Now we have 2 here times 5 raised to the power 2 is not 10. Please take note. 5 raised to the power 2 is never 10. Very critical. 5 raised to the power 2 is 5 times 5, and that's 25. You mustn't make a mistake on this. Okay, 2 times 25 plus 4 times 5. 5 raised to the power 1 is 5. Then 1 times 5 raised to the power 0 is not 0, is 1. Very important. N raised to the power 0 in mass is not 0, is 1. Take note. Even if it is 100 raised to the power 0, it is 1. Even if it is A raised to the power 0, it's still 1. Okay? That is the general mathematics rule. Now, 2 times 25 is 50. 4 times 5 gave me 20. 1 times 1 gave me 1. That gave me a total of 71. Now, I haven't changed that 71 base 10 now. It is now, this is the answer in base 10. But the question said change to base 8. So I must first change to base 10, and I've done it, and I got 71. Now, changing to base 8, that will now give me 8 in 71. The answer is what? 8. Okay, 8 in 71. 8 divided 71 is 8, remainder 7. That's 64. Remainder 7. Then 8 divide 8. You have to divide it one by one. How many 8 are there in 71? It is 8, 8. That's 8, remainder 7. This how to change to any base, whether base 2 or base 4 or base 5 or base 8. This is the way to do it. But to change to base 10, it is this way. So I'm not doing the same work. To base 10 is this style. To base 8 or any other base is this style. And you must use that base all through. See, I am using 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Now, 8 in 71 is 8, remainder 7. 8 again in 8 is 1, remainder nothing. Because 8 can divide 8 without any remainder. Now, you mustn't stop at 1. 8 divide 1. 8 divide 1 is 0. Because 8 can't divide 1. 8 divided 1 is 0. Remainder that same 1. Copy this 1 here. Because this is not possible. 8 in 1 is 0. That's nothing. Remainder, copy the 1 there. So my answer from down to up is 107. Now, another mistake you can make here is to do 701. Please, it's not 701. If you write 701, and it might even be in the question that's in the option given to you, it is an error. It is just a trap. Don't take the answer from up. Take the answer from down up. Okay? And that means that the answer is 107 base 8. And that is what you'll find there. 107 base 8 is the answer to that question. I don't know if you have any question before I go on. Do you have question before I go on? Or should I go on? Okay, it's clear. Damn, it's clear. The same thing with Solomon. Okay, so let's now the next question is also in number base. We have write the decimal number 39 to base 2. Now, when you hear the word decimal means in number base, decimal means base 10. This question is in base 10. How do you change to base 2? Now, I told you before that if it is in any other base that is not in base 10, you must first change to base 10, then change to the stipulated base. Like if this question was in base 5, although it's not possible to have it in base 5, because it is bigger than 5. Now, if it is base 5 to base 2, you will first change to base 10 before you can change to base 2. But this one is already in base 10. You can't change to base 10 again. You see, they said decimal number. Decimal means base 10. It is the name of base 10 in number base. You call it denary or you call it decimal. Now, this number 39 is already in base 10. So you can't be changing to base 10 again because it's already in base 10. Okay? Now, you will only need to change to base 2. That means you will only do this method. This last method. I said that to change to any base from base 10, you will do it this way. And because it is base 2, you will use 2 all the way. So I will go 39. 2 in 39 is 19, remainder 1. 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 2 divided 19 is 9, remainder 1. 2 divided 9 is 4, remainder 1. 2 divided 4 is 2, remainder 0. 2 divided 2 is 1, remainder nothing. 2 divided 1, you mustn't stop at 1, very important. 2 divided 1 is not possible, so that's 0. Remember this same 1, I copied it here. Now take your answer not from up down, very important. Take it from down up, and that will give me 1001111 base 2. And that is that for this question. A is the correct answer. Next one. Now this one is a subtraction question in number base. I believe that all I've said so far are clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, this one is a subtraction. Now, how do you subtract in number base? Now, how do we add in number base? Although I'm focusing on subtraction, but in the next class, I'm going to make a section on my board for, I won't always solve all the questions. Like what I'm going to do next class, because we'll be taking higher maths. These are just elementary maths, beginning maths, easy maths. They look easy because they are easy to just walk through. But in the next class, we'll be having higher maths, that's high grade maths. And I will also make a section on my board for solving, because I want to show you a lot of things which I can't show you right now because I didn't make that setting on my screen. Now, but I will do that before the next class and we'll have a better experience. Now, look at this. When you are subtracting number bases, this question needs you to think a little, and it's very easy, but it's a little bit technical. It's easy but technical. Now, 3 cannot minus 4. This question is in a specific base, which Jamb did not mention. What base are these things? This is a number-based question, but Jamb didn't write bases. They just gave you questions. Now, if we say normal subtraction, 13 minus 4, 3 minus 4 is not possible. So borrow one from here. 13 minus 4 can't give you 4. That means this is not a normal subtraction. This is a number-based subtraction. Now, what base will I subtract from? And will I subtract 4 from? That will give me 4. Now, what you are meant to do now is that I must tell you something, that if you have a number, listen very well to this. It will really help you so that you won't waste time. Look at these numbers. What is the biggest number? 4, right? The biggest number among them is 4. Now, a number-based question cannot be in a base that is lower than the numbers given to you. That means the base we are supposed to be checking for this question must begin from 5. The base for this question, which they did not give you, can't be 4, because 4 is in this question. So the base must be bigger than all the digits in that question. Now look at this now. So I am going to say that this has to be in base 5, although they didn't say it. It has to be in base 5. Why? Because 4 is the highest number and 5 is the next level. So it has to be in base 5. Now let me take a look at it now. Let's check out. So we will check base 5. Now, if it is base 5, like I said, you will now need to 3 can minus 4. You will now need to borrow 1 from 4. Borrowing 1 from 4. If you borrow 1 from 4, you'll be left with what? 3 here. But when the 1 gets to the other side, the 1 is going to change to the base. It's going to change to 5. Why is the 1 changing to 5? It is not normal subtraction. When you borrow 1 from the 4 here, it will remain 3 normally. But when the 1 gets to the other side, because the work is in base 5, it will change that you are working in. So it will change to 5. 5 plus 3 makes 8. And 8 minus 4 will give you 4. Can you see that? So that means that this is a work in base 5. Let me come again. Because this is base 5, I'll borrow 1 from 4. It will remain 3 here. Then, but the 1, when it comes here, you will need to write 5, not 1, not 13. It will be 5. Why is it 5? Because it is in base 5. So 5 plus 3 will make 8. 8 minus 4 will give you 4. Now, what is left in this 4 position is 3. Now, 3 minus what will give you 4. It's not possible. 3 minus nothing will give me 4. Because 3 can't produce 4. 3 can't subtract from something and give me 4. So I will have to borrow one from these 2 now. That's the sense of this math. It is trying to make you think. Now, 3 can't produce 4 by subtraction. I want to borrow one from these 2 now. Now, if I borrow one from these 2, I'll be left with 1 here. Okay. Now, but when the one gets to that 3 remaining in this place, in the 4 part, when the one gets to that part, it will change to 5. Now, 5 plus the 3 that was here before. Let me use my. Oh, sorry, I've even done it here. Sorry. Now I said that this is base 5 from the beginning. I borrow one from 4. I'm left with 3. Okay, but it came here and became 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. That's clear. Now here we have 3 here remaining. 3 cannot minus anything that will give you 4. You have to borrow one from 2. I meant to cancel the 2. Sorry. 2, cancel the 2. You are left with 1. But when the one that you borrow comes to this side, it will become 5 because this is in base 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 minus what will give me 4? 8 minus what will give me 4? It has to be 4. So that means my x automatically is 4. You have broken the code. Now, you are left with 1 here. You are left with 1 here when you borrowed before. Now, 1 minus nothing will give me 3. No, I have to borrow 1 again. So they are testing if you know how to subtract number base. And that's how we do it. In number base, we borrow normally. But when you borrow, it will become the base. So if this was base 6, all these 5 here, they will all be 6, 6, 6. Now, but since this is base 5, I will borrow normally, but it will become 5. Now, I'm left with 1 here. Now, borrow 1 from 4, it will remain 3 normally. But when the 1 comes over, it will become base 5. Now, 5 plus 1 is 3. Is 6, sorry. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 minus 3 will give me 3 as my answer. Can you see that? That's correct. Then I'm left with 3 here. Now, 3 minus 1 is 2. That's why my y is 2 and my x is 4. And that is the answer
I want to ask
I
a
have here.
question.
Yes, please, go ahead.
When you subtract, what if the number is greater than the base? You know it's in base 4.
It's not
What
possible.
if it's 5? It's impossible.
It's not possible.